command, calling the act to have shaken the foundations of mutual trust and cooperation. In 2009, President Musharraf confessed that the billions of dollars of aid that Pakistan received from the United States for being a partner in war against terrorism were diverted and channeled in order to build better defense mechanism. The famous Kerry Lugar bill, which invited much controversy and criticism, was passed in October 2009. The bill entailed the approval of granting 7.5 billion US dollar for non-military aid if the command of countries accepted certain conditions. The bill clearly showed US distrust in Pakistan's military command and considered Pakistani Taliban more threatening than Afghan Taliban, and among many others essentials. So our party now has to build this relationship. We have to build this trust relationship between the Pakistan's army and the United States. In 2011, in the beginning of the year, Pakistan Army, in a joint operation with U.S. intelligence agencies, captured some famous Taliban commander from the tribal belt of Pakistan. The success of the operation was hailed by United States, and Pakistan was praised for its utmost cooperation. 2011, in the beginning of 2011, Raymond Davis, an American agent in Pakistan, as people say, killed two men in Lahore in Pakistan, claiming that they came to rob him or something. David was taken into custody for killing civilians. However, American officials claimed that he was entitled to diplomatic immunity and must be released immediately. So Raymond Davis was later acquitted of the murder charges and was sent to United States. In May 2011, Osama bin Laden was killed in an operation conducted by U.S. Navy SEALs in Abbottabad. President Barack Obama claimed that the information pertaining to the operation conducted in Abbottabad was not shared with Pakistan's army. However, agencies in Pakistan claimed that the operation was conducted jointly, a claim which was blatantly denied by President Asif Ali Zardari. This is again the opinion of some of the people. Since the war on terror started in 2011, Pakistan has received an estimated amount of $20 billion US dollars from the United States. However, in the wake of OBL's raid, US withheld $800 million of aid to Pakistan. US-Pakistan relations, if we talk about it, when 25 Pakistani soldiers died in an airstrike by US Army, Afghan and US officials claimed that the firing was a result of attack launched from the Pakistani side of the border. However, Pakistani military and government denied the claims. As a result of the attack, Pakistani government ordered US Army to evacuate Salala Air Base, which was being used to launch offensive on Taliban and militants. Moreover, the government also halted NATO supplies for the United States. In 2012, since the beginning of 2012, various political parties, along with the military command of the country, met and held discussions on restoring NATO supplies. Diplomats from the United States also tried to reduce the friction. Prime Minister Yusuf al-Gilani said that the supplies were blocked without any pressure and will be restored with consensus. Moreover, NATO Secretary General Anders Rasmussen urged Pakistan to reopen NATO ground supply routes to Afghanistan. However, Rasmussen also said that Pakistan has not been invited to the crucial 25th NATO summit to be held in May in Chicago. Simultaneously, U.S. Senator John Kerry, a leading proponent of U.S. aid for Pakistan, said that Pakistan needs to be more cooperative in order to eliminate Taliban sanctuaries from the country. However, top Pakistani leaders decided to meet on May 15th in order to discuss ending a blockade of foreign military supply routes into Afghanistan and repairing U.S. relations, signaling rapprochement ahead of a NATO summit. Simultaneously, in a sudden shift in events, NATO on May 15 said that it will invite President Zardari to the Alliance of Summit in Chicago after the country's foreign minister proposed reopening its Afghanistan border to NATO military supplies. President Zardari accepted the invitation and decided to attend the summit. However, on May 18th, U.S. lawmakers in the House of Representatives debating the National Defense Authorization Act, they voted for 412 by 1, 412 in favor for an amendment that could block up to $650 million in proposed payments to Pakistan, unless Islamabad lets the coalition force resume shipment of war supplies across its territory. However, on the same day, 4 containers laden with supplies for U.S. Embassy in Kabul crossed into Afghanistan from Pakistan via Torkham border post. A local official, while confirming supplies to the U.S. Embassy via Torkham, said that he could not say when the cargo had been transported. And these are from some of the sources from the media and internet. Pakistan government has never put restriction on the transportation of supplies for the diplomatic missions, including the American embassy in Kabul. A senior official who was dealing with the matter, this was his opinion. Simultaneously, President Zardari arrived in Washington on May 19th to attend the NATO summit in Chicago. However, both the countries were unable to strike a conclusive deal on the restoration of NATO supplies as the summit ended. In a fresh warning to Pakistan, a Senate panel on May 23rd approved a foreign aid budget for next year that slashes U.S. assistance to Islamabad by more than half and threatens further reduction if it fails to open supply routes to NATO forces in Afghanistan. St. Patrick Leahy, a Democrat and chairman of the subcommittee, and the panel's top Republicans and Senator Lindsey Graham said money for Pakistan was cut 50% as lawmakers questioned Islamabad's commitment to the fight against terrorism. So that's why our party really we emphasize more on U.S. and U.S. Government and Pakistan Army's good relationships. Moreover, the Senate Appropriations Committee on May 24th voted to cut aid to Pakistan by a symbolic $33 million to $1 million for each year of jail time handed to Shakil Afridi, a Pakistani doctor who assisted, who they say that they assisted the CIA in finding Osama bin Laden. However, the United States agreed to reimburse $1.18 billion, or almost 75% of the claims Pakistan has submitted for the expenses incurred in the fight against militants along Afghanistan border. The approval showed that despite increased tensions, the U.S. financial assistance to Pakistan has continued, although it is becoming increasingly difficult to get congressional support for helping Pakistan. Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta on June 7th said that the United States was running out of patience with Pakistan over the safe havens for insurgents who attack U.S. troops across the border in Afghanistan. Again, I would emphasize here for good relationships between the Pakistan's military and the government of the United States, and this would be the mission of our party to clarify the both sides and to build the trust back again between the two. So Panetta spoke after talks with Afghan Defense Minister Abdul Rahim Wardak on the latest leg of an Asian tour that has taken him to India, but not Islamabad in a sign of how dire U.S.-Pakistan relations are. On June 8th, U.S. Assistant Defense Secretary Peter Levoy arrived in Pakistan in a fresh attempt to bring in end to a 6-month blockade on network supplies crossing into Afghanistan. However, on June 11th, the United States withdrew negotiators from Pakistan after talks failed to produce a deal on reopening vital NATO supply routes into Afghanistan. Sher Rahman, Pakistan's ambassadors to the United States, still sounded optimistic and said that the return of an American negotiating team from Islamabad, where it worked with Pakistani counterparts on revival of NATO supply routes, does not represent anti-institutional US pullout. Moreover, Panetta ruled out an apology over an airstrike last year that killed 24 Pakistani soldiers and badly set back efforts to improve Pakistani ties, saying it was time to move on. Again, John Allen, the top commander of American and NATO forces in Afghanistan, visited Pakistan on Wednesday amidst heightened tensions between the two countries. The agenda of the talk remained to restore NATO supply routes and cross-border attacks launched on Pakistani soil from Afghanistan. Pakistan on July 3rd agreed to reopen key supply routes into Pakistan and ending a bitter standoff after U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton said she was sorry for the loss of the life in a botched air raid. The U.S. official said that as a part of the deal, Washington will release about 1.1 billion US dollars to Pakistani military from a U.S. coalition support fund designed to reimburse Pakistan for the cost of country insurgency operations. Moreover, U.S. Secretary of State Clinton said on July 8 that the United States and the Pakistan were putting past tensions behind them to focus on future after meeting her Pakistani counterpart Hina Rabbani Kher in Tokyo. It was the first meeting between Clinton and Kher since the two countries last week struck a deal to reopen supply routes closed for 7 months following a U.S. attack in which 24 Pakistani soldiers died. President Barack Obama on July 17th named Richard G. Olson to be the U.S. ambassador to Pakistan, taking him with shaping highly sensitive relationships after U.S. troops pull out. The U.S. commander in Afghanistan